Hey, what's going on YouTube? Final Boss back with another video, and today we've been playing with the Hog and Elite Barbarians combination. If you saw me on TV, I was using that yesterday for the win. We were using a Canaan variation with that one, and it was more of a Hog cycle. The Hog cycle essentially is just throwing in the one elixir skeletons and Ice Spirit, just keeping it nice and cheap so you can cycle back to your Hog Rider as fast as you possibly can, put the Ice Golem down, and you know, it's practically playing really good defense. This deck is really crazy. It's you're almost on a suicide mission when you don't play any kind of defensive buildings, but it's a lot of fun, and it keeps it relatively cheap. So we're gonna go on ahead and show some replays. I was up to number 24 global earlier. Let's check it out where we are now, and we are at number 28. The number one guy earlier from Nova was caught on TV, or one of the guys from Nova, or a couple of them, I don't even know. If you saw the TV match earlier, it was just a bunch of Elite Barbarians going and taking down a tower, and that was it. 2 versus 7, I do believe. I'm sure everybody saw that. This is why this game is just it's not even, you know, it's cool and everything, but it just kind of makes everything a joke. So we can go through my battle logs. You know, I was playing Jordan yesterday. We were working on a video. I might actually roll that one out. I need to come up with some battles. So this was just kind of the beginning of my push. I think I was already in like the top 100, I think, or something like that. So I had a couple losses in there. I'm not going to showcase those. I know some of you guys do want to see those, but we went on to a pretty nice winning streak as well. Was it like 7 games or something like that? So yeah, so we're going to go on ahead. There were some really awesome games. We're going to go on ahead and start off with this Pong match. Pong was actually using his Hog deck, but instead of using Mini P.E.K.K.A, he was using the Lumberjack. I thought that was really interesting. Really good player, and I admire him a lot. I do like to actually visit his channel, as I've mentioned in other previous one of my videos. So not shaming anybody on my channel ever, unless you're caught cheating on TV. So anyway, we're going ahead and start off with our Ice Golem push here. It's a signature and super classic. And we're going to be able to do some decent damage here. So we put down our Elite Barbarians to counter the Hog Rider. And essentially just going to kind of let the guards go on that side. Going to see what he's going to do. And so as you can see here, even the Lumberjack, he does some nice work. His attack speed is super fast. I can't remember, I didn't see if he has a max Lumberjack, but I'm assuming he probably has a max Lumberjack. He plays a lot of the grand challenges. So we do have a push on here. We're going ahead and just kind of slow roll it here. I wish we had a log here, but you know what, you can't always you know, adjust. Everyone's like, well, boss, why are you using the zap? Why are you using this? You know, it's like you don't know what your opponent's going to have every single time. You just kind of do what your best is and what you see the most of. So Pong does like to use the princess. The princess is really good, especially with people like me that have not been using the log. It's not as easy to counter. So we're going ahead and distract the Lumberjack for a hot minute, drop down our Elite Barbarians to counter here and take out his Hog Rider. He does get one swing, and Pong will have to respond here with his Ice Wizard. He's not strong on defense. He does have the guards and Ice Golem. That was crazy right there, guys. That was absolutely nuts. The Elite Barbarians locked onto the Ice Golem, and then they decided they didn't want to have anything to do with it, and then we take the tower down right there as well. So double elixir's about to hit here. We're just going to kind of, you know, at this point we just don't want to let him get any kind of chip damages. We have not seen what his other card was. You know, Pong likes to use a rocket, so every little piece of chip whenever you're playing against a rocket deck actually matters. We're going ahead and hit him with the Ice Spirit. I was waiting to see if there was a Hog coming in, but we were able to stop that there, and he is able to hit us with the lightning. It was well played on his part. We're going ahead and put down our Ice Golem to try to get some distraction in there, and it did work, because if I have not, like here lately, like I've noticed that the princess, last handful of times, the princess has random targeting, and then we go on ahead and show our freeze, because that we had not shown the freeze yet, kind of threw him off guard. And you know, this deck is not standard. It might become, who knows. I did see a couple other people playing with it after I pushed up nice and high, and that's typically how it goes. People in late season look to see what you're having success with, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no way to sit there and say that this is my deck, this is your deck, everything else. So tell him good game, nothing but respect for the dude. And I'll always be back to your channel just because I like the way you play and I like the decks that he comes up with. I like your imagination as well. So let's go on ahead and play the craziest game of the day. Hands down, bar none, this was insane. Shoot him up. Good luck. And then we wait. So, but anytime I have a hog, and especially an ice spear, it's one of my favorite pushes. So we just kind of start off with that. That's fine. Sometimes I'll just start off with a golem, ice golem in the front, as we did in the other one. Sometimes you just have a bad starting hand. We didn't have really good anything at all. He's angry because I froze his whole thing. And when you have a max freeze, it seriously feels like you are frozen forever. The best thing to do whenever you do have a freeze is take an early tower, and once you take the early tower, just sit back and play defensive freeze. And there's nothing more frustrating than defensive freezing. I've played Guanek, and he was in our own clan back in the day, and I played a bunch of the Italians, and that deck used to just, you know, if they got an early tower on you, there's just no way that you're getting it. I threw out the WoW because was not expecting a giant bowler. You know, that's a great idea and everything else. I tried to put the hog down right there to distract the bowler. I wasn't able to get it though, so the bowler is just bowling strikes on our tower, so we took a bunch of damage there. I think the bowler does what, 200 something damage a pop, so we're gonna go ahead and put the try to put the musketeer out of fireball range, but it wasn't in cycle because he had just fireballed. But you know, sometimes you lose track of counting elixir and what the rotations are. So essentially what we have to work on with here is we can pick the other lane, but at that point we've already kind of got one tower down, and we're gonna have to play defense on this side anyway. So we don't play the elite barbarians here because we knew that his the bowler was gonna actually be in cycle, and this push is practically dead at this point. The bowler is just really too good at defense, and that might be a really good hard counter for the elite barbarians if this is going to become a thing. He does a smooth little move on the other side and pushes the other lane, as I always say, that is just so great to do. And that was pretty hilarious because the fireball knocks the musketeer into the other lane to not assist, but it didn't matter that we were able to clean up anyway. And at this point we got the zap in, and we're going to go ahead and get one hit in here and go back onto the defensive side and sit there and freeze his whole entire push. Was able to clean up the ice golem here, put our musketeer there so he doesn't get value with the fireball, and he completely botches the fireball. It looked like maybe he slipped up a little bit, or maybe it was a little bit slightly out of range. So we're kind of in trouble here. The time's expiring, and I know that everything's kind of coming to an end. The musketeer's going to take care of the bowler. The ice spirit's now going to go on ahead and freeze. But we got the elite barbarians coming in hot, and now we only got one elixir on the tower. And oh my god, the elite barbarians were able to clean it up, give them the GG. That was crazy, because I was practically losing out of the gate the whole entire time. I didn't even push the other lane, and I just ended up powering through it. That freeze came in clutch, was able to clean up there, and that was just an insane win. Now this deck that I'm about to show you might be the new, I don't know, it looks absolutely disgusting. Bowler Graveyard Elite Barbarians. I'm in Mega Minion, and then the other, you know, the other meta stuff that's been going on. Mega Minion, Zap, Fireball, Archers, Ice Golem. So, I mean, seriously, this deck, I have not played it yet. I feel like this deck will be really good, and I'm just absolutely scared to have to play this deck again. Or, you know, in the right hands could just be super dangerous. The deck I'm running currently is at 3.3 elixir, so it's still relatively cheap. It's not the 2.5 and the 2.8 that I made the last few videos on that we had the big pushes on, but it still comes in clutch, and this deck is really good. It's got a lot of margin of error in here. So whenever I see a bowler, typically go on ahead and you push the other lane as just a signature move that you do, because you want to be able to split up the push. You know, at this point, don't know what the opponent has. Could be a giant bowler, and then he puts down an ice golem, and don't even know what's going on. So we do have the minions right here. but he is running the fireball. So we're going ahead and put down elite barbarians, and he's going to get some insane, almost some insane value, and he's going to do some pretty good amount of damage here. We still didn't lose a tower, which is pretty, you know, it could happen. So pretty pissed off that happens. The graveyard is there's so many people have hate for the graveyard right now, because you know what, just being able to freeze an opponent's, you know, drop troops on someone's tower, and to be able to freeze it, you know, etc., just to be able to do a massive amount of damage is just really OP. And it's, I don't know. Everyone thought that they were going to be able to get, you know, there was going to probably be a nerf for the graveyard. We didn't see it, so we got a lot of value here with the freeze and the musketeer cleaning it up. Musketeer's always been one of the best cards in the game for cleanup duty, and I've taken so many towers in my gaming life of this, and was able to just see, look, that dead musketeer was just able to help clean up the elite barbarians and clean up the archers. So as I was saying that, talking about how good the musketeer is, like I said, I've seen a dead musketeer, and I've done it so many times with trifecta and other decks as well, just to go on ahead and come on clutch. So I wanted to break up his push, make him spend elixir here, and so we're not able to do that. He throws down the fireball, and we try to distract over here against the bowler. Musketeer's going to handle some of this, and now we're staying alive. We got the Ice Spirit in there that wasn't necessary, but now we're pushing on the other lane. So this goes into another and go into overtime. Then we're going to be able to, you know, take care of everything. If he played his elite barbarians in a really bad position, if he would have dropped those actually on the Hog Rider, it would have came up a lot better. So we are going to take that damage. So him spinning all that elixir, we're going ahead and just drop a solo, you know, elite barbarians on the other tower, drop the freeze down, and that is going to be the ball game. So yeah, so that just, you know, if I would have focused like I did on the previous match of just going after one tower, you know, I probably would not have won this game, but I was able to break up some of the pushes here, and actually being able to chip, and then we caught him in an awkward position and was able to capitalize. But taking 1/3 of his tower down there just by a distraction. Now, sometimes that doesn't work out. Sometimes you have 2 towers completely down and then you lose. I've done that before. I did that earlier on my lower level account, and that's just never fun at all. So, more graveyard. It's starting to be popular. I mean, it's starting to be more and more popular. So just carrying the little minions in there still make those relevant. But the problem is with the freeze, if you don't have anything to kind of capitalize on the freeze, then you're gonna have to deal with the counter push. And that's the whole difference between a freeze versus the fireball. So luckily in the cases, scenarios here, whenever I've used freeze, I've used it defensively and I've used it offensively, but a lot of the times we were able to go on ahead and take care of everything, you know, before we had to deal with the repercussions on the counter push. Now the furnace is just a complete and utter pain not having a fireball, but we're able to get like two slaps from the minion there, and we'll take it. The little minions do add up. So we're going ahead and start the musketeer in the back, kind of like a trifecta play, and kind of waiting on the fire spirits going on down here. And then what do you know, we have a graveyard. Oh, a graveyard. So we got elite barbarians down here, it's just got this huge giant push going on, and he takes down a tower. I feel like there was no hope here. I pretty much felt like I've already lost the game in this battle. Get a little sip of water. Water. Yeah, I haven't done any damage to him here, and I feel like I completely out-countered, and there was no way that I was going to be able to win this. I felt completely hopeless, and instead of quitting the game, you keep on continuing on, even if you're going to lose. Always do that, guys. Always keep the hope alive. So the giant graveyard it's real. So we put down our ice golem to deal with the musketeer in the back, or just, you know, with the mega minion or anything else. And as you can see there, that is just the elite barbarians just clean up the giant. We put down the try to get some freeze damage in here, and then he zaps the Elite Barbarian away. And coming in for some chip damage, he puts down his furnace, and check that out. Instead of the hog going for the furnace, it ran to the left of the musketeer. Essentially, it was pig pushed, but it didn't even look the right way. Normally, whenever it does pig push, it does go on ahead and look the other way. So maybe just his tower placement was just a little out of whack, but it was to the right of the king tower. So pretty interesting on that. The Elite Barbarians were able to clean up there. We're going to go on ahead and zap that away. No biggie once you know you have the skeleton army. It's pretty easy to counter. You just need to know that you keep your zap for those later down the road. Going ahead and start a push on the right hand side of the lane. Starting to feel a lot more confident at this point. I thought that I was kind of dead in the water, so we got a big push coming on here. Put the hog on the furnace. Let kind of the Elite Barbarians and Ice Golem in there. Then we have the awesome explosion, zap away a few of those bad boys, and now we throw down the freeze and we take down the W from a game that I thought that I was going to lose from the go. So we had not a lot of the split pushing that I was doing with some of the other ones. I was just kind of using them more as a counter, or once I saw when I won the game earlier against Tag, he knew that he had spent a bunch of elixir, and we just went ahead and put down the Elite Barbarians. Were able to take that down as well. So it's really, really good games. These were just some really awesome games. Graveyard is really back. All right, so we're gonna go on ahead, and I was not gonna show this one just because I feel like we've already done 4 games already, but it does have an RG, and I know that's the next question somebody's gonna ask, like, hey boss, what about against a Royal Giant? All right, so here we go. We'll break down the Royal Giant play as well, and this was kind of fun. I was experimenting a little bit with the pump. It was pretty interesting. It just kind of wanted to have a little bit of fun, and this was one of the earlier matches of the game. So going ahead and put the Musketeer. Musketeer just does work. I don't agree with that lightning. That's why I was like, wow. Pretty wacky, to be honest. So we're going to go ahead and pump there since he lightning. And that was kind of on the ridiculous side. So he gives me an angry face that I'm pumping and give him the thumbs up. And then you drop your phone in the middle of the game, in the middle of YouTube, and someone start thinking about you. Alright, so going ahead and put down our Ice Golem here and Elite Barbarians. The Ice Golem was about to pop and explode and kill off most of that. The Inferno's locked on. Going ahead and drop down the freeze here, which was super crazy. I don't know. I was just kind of having fun with this. It wasn't like super serious. I wasn't try-harding it yet. So we went to try hard. We went back to the other deck. So Musketeer was able to take care of that pretty handily. Drop the Ice Golem in front to protect it, just like you would Archers or any of the other decks that we've used. The tower is locked onto the Ice Golem, and check this out. The Hog's going to hit it. Ice Golem's going to explode, and then the Hog's going hammer time over there. We get 2 hits in there with the Hog. Mega Minions coming in dead. And now we've been able to cycle. So he hasn't used his lightning yet. So we're going to go ahead and put down our pump. No angry faces this time. It's kind of a serious matter because he knows he needs to do damage on that side, but he goes on ahead and does the lightning anyway. But we are still able to get 1 value out of that. It's because 6 versus that. Zap those bad boys away. Here comes our Elite Barbarians and completely bypass the Tombstone. So we was able to take that down. And at this point, we hadn't seen his Royal Giant yet. He was just kind of like, chipping away and everything else. So pretty interesting. Maybe that was just his tactics, but I think you lose games. You lose games based off of using your lightning early in the game when it's not giving you a lot of value. So that wasn't a big value, and that's probably kind of what costed him a tower, and also gave us the elixir advantage in the game that we were able to pull ahead as well. So we do have our pump down. We're going to continue to keep pressure on the right-hand side of the lane. Going ahead and zap those away was kind of a little bit... oh, I did not zap those away. It was late on the zap. I did zap them, but it was just super late. So the Royal Giant was almost able to take down our tower. We didn't really do much damage there, and he lightnings us away. And then we're going to go on ahead and put down our pump and really be able to capitalize here in a minute. So as you can see with the pumps and the elixir there, we're pretty much ahead in every single aspect. So we're gonna go on ahead and give them everything we did. That was a really bad elite barbarians. I'm not super experienced with them there, because I thought that if you dropped them in the center they would go toward a tower, but as you can see they just started splitting. So put down the ice golem to shield for our minions as they kind of clean up everything. They are about to explode. We're going to go on ahead and just give them everything we got yet again, and then this time we're going to freeze everything. We're going to zap everything away. Our hog slides in, our elite barbarians come in, and it's just really too much for him to handle. It's just a huge push going on in there, and that's going to be the ball game. Give him the thumbs up against the RG meta deck that uses all that stuff. So, you know, when you start to get used to like playing a lot of these decks that are using the same stuff, oh, that's not completely the same deck because he's using 2 defensive towers. Okay. So, and only 2 spells, you know. I thought that most of the Royal Giant decks had 3 spells in them. So, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a blast. You know, I'm not cool with Supercell doing this again. This is 2 seasons in a row that they've done this. Has thrown out this crazy update, you know, right before the end of season. It just really messes things up, and especially with the elite barbarians. And maybe that's their tactic to make people spend money that hadn't, you know, leveled up their elite barbs, especially up at the top and everything else, because, you know, you've been working all season or whatever, you know, in your deck, and you're feeling good, and you got up there pretty high, you know, and I'm sitting there making videos telling people that the elite barbarians are no good, and then I release it the day after the update, and then people are like, dude, you said the elite barbs aren't good. Well, that's like I made it a little bit late, you know, Bobby. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys on the next video. Peace, y'all.